Hi everyone, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This is the weekly forecast. It is the Sunday reading. It is the underpinning energy of the week. It is for all signs, it's a broad spectrum collective reading, so you need to figure out if and where it fits in your life. I will be speaking in broad terms, so you need to apply it to your life wherever it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's broken or wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not off your path. It just may not be your reading. We're all working at different timelines and stuff like that. Each of these cards that I pull will represent like a day or two or maybe even 3 during the week. You may experience all of these cards and then some, or maybe some of you might be moving more slowly and only experience one of these cards in a very big way. Either way, just take what you need and leave the rest. It's all very free-flowing, right? It is for the week of the 7th, Sunday the 7th of May through the 13th, Saturday the 13th. It is not solely set for those dates, though. If you're like seeing this on a different date, it's just popped up in your feed and you randomly have come upon it and you're listening to it and it makes sense to you, by all means, utilize the reading. If it, works for you, it's okay. I believe that readings have a way of being timeless, and they find us when we need them. Spirit works in that way. Our angels, our guides, our higher self can lead us. Even the YouTube algorithm, I believe, can be magic and send us the message that we need to hear. So if you're seeing it on a different date, don't get caught up in that. If the reading works, by all means, utilize it. Hit the thumbs up button and let me know in the comments when you're watching it and how it applies. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily videos and weekly videos. In there is just some information I want you to think about when utilizing the channel, what decks I utilize in each, in the video that you're watching. Also, how to find me on social media if you want to follow me. I'm not the hugest social media person, but I do have an Instagram and a Facebook business page. If you're interested in a private reading, those are available. They are an hour long. They are usually videoed. I can do them either live with you or through sending you a video that you have access to for a year via YouTube, a private video. So you get to choose that. You would need to initiate contact with me via Instagram or via my Facebook business page. I will never reach out to you to sell you a video or a reading. Just know that. If somebody reaches out to you and says it's me, it's not me. I'm too much of a recluse for that. I believe that the people that need me will contact me when they need me. And that's how the universe works. When the energy's right, when the time is right, it all comes together. So that's how you would find me if you want a personalized reading directly specified to your situation, relationship, or life. What else do I need to tell you? Oh, easy ways to support the channel in the drop-down menu. Please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy the content. Leave me a question or comment in the comment section. Let me know what resonated or how it resonated. I greatly appreciate that, and I do read them all. Share the video out, let other people know about me. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the notification bell. I do put up daily content. So I have some ideas ruminating, guys. I don't know about stuff I want to put on the channel, but I don't want to alienate everybody else. I'm thinking about doing Pisces videos just for Pisces sign. And I know that I have a lot of different loyal viewers that aren't necessarily Pisces. But I am a Pisces. I have a Pisces Venus, a Pisces sun sign, Venus, and Mercury. And I'm feeling drawn to doing solely Pisces videos. If they happen to be popular, I might consider doing other signs, depending. I was also considering just solely doing the water signs because I'm such a friggin' emotional guy. And I think that maybe water signs might relate to my readings best. I don't know, we'll see. I'm just ruminating ideas. So if you feel a certain type of way, leave it in the comments and let me know. I was thinking about also maybe doing a monthly sign once a year for the sign that we're in, like the birthday season of that sign. like a monthly overview. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to do this to create viewers, because that has always been a goal of mine, and to reach more people. But we'll see. All right, so let's get into this. Let's see what the first card out is for the early part of the week. Okay, we have the Magician. I love him. He's on the cover of the box. He's part of the reason why I chose this as the May deck, because May is kind of like springy, the maypole, Beltane. He gives me all of that vibe. He gives me, you know, divine masculine with those antlers. He's very much connected to nature, and I just feel like spring is kind of this moment when nature comes back to life, right? The Magician is a highly creative card. It's card number 1 of the major arcana, so it's the beginnings of things. I mean, actually the Fool is the first beginning, but that's card number 0. But this is the card where we get to take action. Magician, I believe, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but I believe, what is he associated with? Oh my god, I can't even think. Anyways, regardless, he's definitely creative. He's definitely empowered. He's definitely looking at things, processing things, balancing things. He has all of like sort of the 4 elements at his disposal to put to good use, right? And he's not afraid to use them. He's highly connected to spirit, or to, there's this phrase that goes with the Magician card, as above, so below, you know, where he's connected to both the heavens and the earth. He can ground his desires, his manifestations, or certainly begin to take action towards making those things happen. He's sometimes people can see him, you know, in a negative light. I don't. I see him as highly creative, inspired energy. I love that these 2 candles are on either side of him, a balance of light and dark. Like, he has an awareness. He's been in the dark side of himself, or he's done the shadow work. He understands who he is. So you should understand who you are, or be more in acceptance of all aspects of yourself, especially when you're in this creative energy, right? There's also this sort of like, I mean, God, he's like the sexiest Barry Gibb magician I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, I don't know, some of the cards in this deck kind of turn me on. I don't know what it is. But to me, he represents that idea of feeling invigorated by the challenge of creating positive change in our life by taking action. I love that he is sort of staring us straight in the face. Like, we might be staring, you know, eyes down, bored down on exactly what it is we want. What it is we want may be far off on the horizon, but we're not letting that deter us, right? We're understanding that we are capable of creating magic if we open up to the magic. If we bring in sort of spirit, if we look at this infinity symbol in his hand, this is usually depicted in the Rider-Waite above his head. If we look at this infinity symbol, he's definitely working with spirit. He's paying attention to the signs and symbols around him. His position, staring straight at us, speaks to this idea of us in the early part of this week being very much in the present moment, or at least attempting to be. Stay mindful of that, right? Him being card number 1, too, is the focus is on ourselves. What the fuck do we want? You know, like, what do we want to create? What inspires us? What gets our magical juices flowing? I mean, this card gets my magical juices flowing. No pun intended. And this acceptance of the light and dark within us, the experiences of the total whole of everything that we've maybe been through, failures, successes, betrayals, rewards, you know, the things that, where we've done right and where we've been wronged, we accept it all and then we utilize it. That's kind of like how I see him utilizing all of the 4 different elements, the swords, the wands, the cups, and the pentacles, to kind of collaboratively work with spirit or the universe, our guides, and pay attention to the signs, be in the present moment, and be excited by it. You know, that red cloak is about invigoration, excitement, energy, taking action and moving forward. You know what it is? I think it's his hairy chest. Oh my god, I'm hot for the Magician. Alright, let's look at the midweek and see what's going on in the midweek. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Alright, so where we felt really creative in the beginning of the week, we're ready to set forth doing the work, right? The actual 3D centered, focused work, right? Pentacles is a bit of a slower energy than I would say the Magician. But what I'm going to say is with the Magician kicking off the week, we start off with a bang, with a big burst of inspiration, with a big feeling of I can do this. it slows down with this Eight of Pentacles, but to me it feels like it's not a slow down in a bad way. It's a, now I'm going to set to about to doing this, right? In a very practical, grounded, centered, attention-giving manner. This card is always like the artisan card, right? He's hard at work, doing the small detail work, creating pentacle by pentacle, taking it step by step, paying attention, being focused, being balanced. No love is lost on me with, or, you know, the symbolism of this infinity symbol in his hand, and then the 8, which also is an infinity symbol, is not lost on me here in the connection of these two cards, right? So where we take what spirit is inspiring us in the beginning of the week, we start to make into practical action through doing the work, taking the focus, placing our attention in the 3D world on the places it needs to be. And with the artisanal sort of aspect of this card, it speaks to this idea, and again, back to this acceptance of dark and light and everything we've been through, we're able to bring that artisanal quality to the steps that we take in the midweek towards creating our goals. Now, there's also a patience with the Eight of Pentacles, and Pentacles is a very patient energy, and it can be slow. It requires patience, dedication, sometimes solitude, discernment. But here, this is about, I don't want to say keeping our head down and doing the work, because I don't get the sense that we have to, like, what's the word? Like, shut the world out, but it's like we're very into and focused on the steps we need to take. And so this is a really good energy to start to set into motion plans for doing the actual work. Like, okay, so let's just use an example. I shared my idea about what I want to do about Pisces readings. Well, maybe this midweek is when I start to sit down and really film my first Pisces video and release it and see how it goes, right? But putting that focus into it, taking the steps, doing it step by step. And there is a little bit, I am going to say this, there is a little bit of closing out the world, right? Because we have this like folding door here in front of the window, but it doesn't obscure the total window, right? The total dream and the horizon, or whatever the magician is looking at creating in the horizon. We're still in the present moment, but we're focusing on the now in the 3D and what steps need to be taken. I hope that makes sense. Actions, decisions, those sort of things. Those things need to be taken. We're doing them one by one, moving forward in a very steady, stable energy. So I like that. Let's look at the end of the week. Okay, Knight of Swords. Knights can bring messages with them, and the Knight of Swords is one of the faster moving energies of the deck. I oftentimes think of the Wands as being the fastest energy element, but one of the most fast cards, aside from, like, say, the Chariot to me, or the Eight of Wands, is the Knight of Swords. He comes charging in. Swords are about the mind and the intellect. Where things maybe slowed down, or our focus became a little bit more pinpointed in the steps, or setting up the foundation in the midweek for the plan we need to take, or the actions we need to take in the 3D. This is about the mental empowerment of moving forward in clarity. This can be an incoming message coming from someone else, a potential air sign. Air would be Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. But this is also about being in the mind, being clear in thought, speaking our truth even if we need to, right? Voicing it into being. This feels very powerful this week as far as for creative energy. The Magician to me feels like the inspiration from Spirit. The Eight of Pentacles feels like the actual physical action we need to take in the midweek to productively work our way towards whatever that inspiration is. And then the Knight of Swords is that sort of charging forward mentally through our thoughts and our communications towards our goal. Really like cutting away anything that stands in our way, or not allowing, our mind, our thoughts, or other people's thoughts, even if they're well-intentioned, to stop us, right? I want to say this. I get this strange sense that this is like not a done reading, right? I feel like, and it's partly because it is the Knight of Wands and because he is charging forward, like I feel like there's a part two, which is obviously going to be next week's reading. But it's like we're heading somewhere. We're beginning, at the end of this week, we're beginning to really start to communicate that, think that, see it as possible, and move towards it. We've laid the groundwork. And this, again, you have to figure out where this applies in your life. This could be around a work situation. This could be around inspiration around a relationship or a goal, a hobby, something new you want to try and do. Well, this is the week to bring it into being and start to take actionable steps towards it, and then really breathe it into life by the end of the week by like heralding it from the hills, so to speak, regardless of what others think. I mean, I love that lightning strike on his sword, right? It's just this like bam, inspiration, and we are moving forward. And I just noticed that he's on a Pegasus. This this bitch is riding a Pegasus, which is a fully magical spiritual animal. I didn't realize that those were wings on that horse. Horses, to me, symbolically represent power, right? So to me, this would be mental power. The wings of the horse would bring this sort of spiritual aspect to it. He's like flying through the sky. So we're flying towards our goals maybe into next week, and that's why this feels like it's not a complete sort of reading, if that makes sense. Like the follow-up comes next week. So I'm interested to see what next week's reading already is, and we'll look at the cards each day this week as we progress through the week and see how this energy transforms and changes. But it feels highly inspirational, highly productive, and like rife with possibility of creation and change, okay, positively, right? Taking action, moving, and our thoughts being in alignment with that action, okay? Let's go to the Untamed Elemental Oracle. So this is Mountain. We see this card all the time, and so here's the deal. I'm going to read it to you because I did read it. It was the first card out, I think, when we first started the month, and then we've seen it once before. And I remember reading the story the first time after I did the reading. I didn't read the story to you, and I've been reading the stories to you on some of these cards now. And I remember this story about this. Mountain, to me, first off, my take of this is that it's highly grounded, right? And it's this strong, structure, so to speak, earthbound structure. And mountains to us, they present challenges, right? We need to climb them, but they also, through that challenge, can show us our strength. Through the challenge of climbing the mountain, when we get to the peak or the top, we can see the higher vista, the bigger picture, the far off in the horizon inspiration of the magician, right? What I love about the design of this card is it's like pyramid upon pyramid upon pyramid, building on top of each other. And then we have this green sort of sun coming through in the middle, which is like this higher light or truth coming through all of this. And mountain to me is unshakable, grounded, centered. So I feel like we have this energy for us this week, and it should be really powerful. I'm going to read you Mountain because what I found surprising with Mountain is that it not only talks about the earthiness of Mountain, but also how Mountain, because it peaks up into the skies, how it's the earth connected to the heavens, which is sort of like the magician's phrase, as above, so below, right? Ooh, a little connectivity there. I dig it. Let me get my glasses because she's getting old, and let me look up. I think Mountain, I'm going to assume Mountain is Earth, but I can tell you there's some really weird connections to some of these cards that, like Ladybug is considered fire, which I was really thrown off by. And I think like Elephant is considered fire. There's some really interesting mix of cards in here. All right, so Mountain is Earth. The alignment, a vertical masterpiece of the natural world, Mountain obtains cosmic access and conducts the step in cosmic access would be the magician, guys, and conducts the steadfast life force rooted in the center of the earth. Hello, Eight of Pentacles. He entices us with his ridges and vistas and demands coherence between conviction and action. Hello, Knight of Swords. He is proud of his statuesque prominence, embodying incorruptible dignity. Wisdom cultures have long been attracted to the wild embrace of mountains' range of summits and extreme climates in the exploration of spiritual elevation and states of absolute consciousness. And that's the presence that I feel like that present moment focus. The absolute consciousness is the present moment focus that I feel is in the Magician. It's the focus that I feel this little boy has in the Eight of Pentacles of being focused our attention on the work we're doing. And then it's the focus of the charge forward of the Knight of Swords this week. Does that make sense, guys? If I'm not making sense, leave me a question or comment and I'll try and explain further. Mountain urges you to focus on your, there's the word focus again. Mountain urges you to focus on your alignment, particularly as it relates to your spine. Just as Mountain establishes a coherence of flow between planetary and cosmic energy, hello Magician, your spine both avails you to earth frequencies and ensures you have access to heightened wisdom. Maintaining healthy alignment in your vertebrae will keep your body vital, your intuition activated, and your dignity intact. Our souls are honed by our physical systems. Your spine is an instrument through which you can manifest greatness. The Magician is all about manifestation, guys. The thing about the spine is like this runs, from our first chakra to our seventh. It just kind of is interesting to me. It just speaks to like being unshakable this week, really grounding ourselves and being aware of that. If we even have to put our attention on our physical spine to center ourselves. And it's funny because it's like a focus on the center of ourselves, which is the number one, which is the Magician card. The balanced version of Mountain is immaculate alignment between conviction and action. That would be also the Knight of Swords, guys. Imbalanced is directionless, lacking clarity of purpose, or chronic back pain. Well, I don't know if you are having chronic back pain. That could be a symbol that you're not experiencing these energies. The reason why I'm saying this is, or why I do these readings, is to let you know that these energies are available to us collectively. We need to tap into them, channel them, and find them, and put our attention on them, and put them to good use. To bring it back into balance. So if you are experiencing a feeling of directionlessness or a lack of clarity of purpose, to bring it back into balance, activate your essential self by embodying Mountain's unwavering dignity and stillness. So again, understand your power, understand you're grounded, understand you're connected to a higher spiritual sense or self too in all of this week, and then put that all to good work and action. Now let's look at the clarifiers. I'm just going to fire them out because I've kind of been a little chatty today. We have the Knight of Wands, 2 knights on the board. We have the Ace of Wands, wow, and we have the Page of Swords. All right, so Knight of Wands is about action, fire. This is also the red in the Magician's coat to me. This is some of that fire energy. And this is some of the inspiration, is the Ace of Wands that I was saying that we might be looking at through the Magician onto the horizon, something we want to create. The Ace of Wands is that renewed, out of nowhere, kind of coming from spirit inspiration. The Knight of Wands embodies us or empowers us to sort of take action and move towards it. The thing with the Knight of Wands, sometimes he can lack staying power. He's associated with the sign, mostly all the fire signs, obviously, but mostly the sign of Sagittarius. But we are able to take action this week, is my feeling. Action towards something that we're very desirous of or passionate about. The Page of Swords would indicate a little bit of an investigative nature, a little bit of a thoughtful mind, a little bit of a learning process in all of this, right? But it feels open to me. And with the Knight of Swords there, it feels like this page learns very quickly, right? So in other words, as we do this work this week, be open to the new learning, the new thinking, the new communicating. And by the end of the week, when we're on our blazing Pegasus, like flying towards whatever our truth is, we've done the investigation, we've done the sort of research, we've educated ourselves, because pages oftentimes to me are about optimism and education too, because they're youthful, right? And again, it's another, association with the air signs, which I listed earlier. So there is this opportunity to sort of investigate and learn and sort of reform our thoughts into something more powerful by the end of the week that gives us the impetus to move forward. I will say this, fire and air feed off of each other, right? They're complementary to one another. And I think, is the Magician associated with Aries because he's the first card? He may very well be. I don't know. I feel like I want to say he's associated with a planet, but I'm drawing a blank right now. Let me go to the grounding stone. The grounding stone for this week is, I'll take it. It's on obsidian, which wards off any negativity, but it is angel. It's actually snowflake obsidian. There's a small piece of snowflake on there. So it's a balance of white and dark. A balance of white and dark. The light, the acceptance of all aspects of who we are and understanding the strength of that, the power of that, the creativity of that, embracing that and taking action. I'm going to say this, calling upon our angels this week, calling upon spiritual beings that assist us, that are of the highest order, will assist us in taking this action. Understanding that, you know, we too are angels within ourselves. There's an angel within us. Our own higher self is, you know, can essentially be seen as an angel or our spiritual center. Connecting to that this week is going to be key. Grounding in that, grounding in the, you know, spiritual help that is around us, the spiritual influence that is around us will be what imbues us with the power that I sense in these cards. The centeredness, the connectivity. The other thing I wanted to say with the spine reference to mountain and these swords, the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords. Imagine your spine as a sword of truth, you know, a sword of clarity, a sword of that's, you know, unbreakable, that's strong, and allow that to kind of be your vision this week. I hope that makes sense. I hope that doesn't sound too kooky. All right, you guys, that is your reading. That went really long, sorry, but I'm excited to see how the cards fall out this week. And let me know in the comments if this makes sense to you, or if you're feeling this energy, or how you're experiencing this energy throughout the week. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Please, as I said earlier, hit the thumbs up button, leave me a question or comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell. And tune in tomorrow. Sorry, it keeps going out of focus. Tune in tomorrow and we'll see how this all progresses. All right, take care and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.